Otti-led administration in Abia State has continued its bold stride in education transformation, this time through the training of 100 teachers on 21st century digital teaching and learning techniques. The program held in Umuahia is part of the Smart School Initiative, a flagship project designed to introduce digital learning, smart classrooms and teaching, and technology-based teaching across Abia's public schools. Special advisor to the governor on basic secondary school education and the chairman of the Smart School Steering Committee, Sir Kenechukwu Nwosu, said,
Okay, my name is Sir Kenechukwu Nwosu. I am the special advisor to the governor of Abia State on basic and secondary education, and I'm also the chairman of the Smart Schools Steering Committee, the project steering committee of the Smart Schools. Yeah. What we are seeing here is a testament of the transformation agenda of His Excellency, the Governor of Abia State, in the area of education, basic education to be specific. Because we all know that the Governor of Abia State has dedicated a lot of money into the basic education sector, and actually 20% of his budget is in this sector. So that shows us that we are going into an era of digital learning in Abia State. Not only that, we are training our people, building capacity in our teachers so that they can, at the same time, go ahead into the classrooms and teach our children in the area of blended learning, digital learning, learning management systems, and school management systems. That is why His Excellency has meticulously deployed every necessary accessory resources in this area by getting Blue Giraffe Development Company Limited to take over the area of smart schools in capacity building and deploying smart technology, digital technology in our schools. So that is what we are doing here today. We are training our teachers, 100 of them in the area of digital learning. No, it's going to have a 3-week term where by the way, this is the second cohort. This is the second time our teachers are being trained, because we had actually initially trained 150 of our teachers sometime in May to take over our digital learning in our schools. Because you know that we have embarked on construction of 20 smart schools across the state. And not only doing that, as simultaneously, we are also building capacity in our teachers so that by the time these smart schools are finished, we will have quality teachers that are ready, passionate, and they can deploy this smart technology into the pedagogy in our schools. This is a time in the lives of Abians that we have a governor that is very concerned about the welfare of the teachers. And not only recruiting teachers, also ensuring that teachers are in their place of comfort so that they can give us the best of their abilities. That is why after the recruitment process and the posting of our teachers, when a lot of teachers started expressing the difficulties they are having in some areas that they were posted to, our governor, who has a listening ear, immediately set up a committee to ensure that this process is reviewed and our teachers are put in the right place. And you know, something that is systematic and a gradual process, as we do the things that we do, we also review and get feedback from our teachers. So when some of these questions were also put across during the, as you said,
of course, we also came under pressure in terms of the facilitators, the lecturers, or the teachers. And I'm glad to report, and I'm sure you are aware, that we have onboarded 5,394 teachers as we speak. We've posted them to different schools. We also got reports that some people were posted to areas where they could not operate efficiently, and I gave instructions that people should be posted where they could deliver their best. I've always been a firm believer that somebody should not consider posting as a punitive measure. So if somebody lives in Okwa and you are posting him to Arochukwu, he may have to relocate. And if it's difficult for him to relocate, then he may not operate well. So we like to post people to where they can give us their maximum output. So the ASUBEB, the Ministry of Education, and others involved have sat down to will review those postings. So if there's any prospective teacher that we have hired, and I believe they've all been onboarded in the payroll as of this month. So if your posting is not satisfactory, please come back to us, so that we want to post you in your comfort zone, and we want to get the best.
During the monthly media chat, yes, he also emphasized the fact that his team is also doing a great job on that. And not only that, immediately the different boards that are concerned with education, including Abia State Universal Education Board and the Secondary Education Management Board, as well as the Office of the Special Advisor on Basic Education, we also came together to ensure that we move these things. And that is why you see, just as you rightly said, there was a helpline that is being circulated actually to support teachers in doing that. So going by the statistics and numbers, as at close of work on Friday, the Secondary Education Management Board had already, from the time of that media chat, they asked that question, to close of work on Friday, we have successfully handled the matters of 200 teachers from Monday of last week to Friday, and by the time we get to tomorrow, we're also going to get more statistics of the numbers that we have already handled. So this is a joint collaboration to ensure that the directives of His Excellency is carried out, and I must have to assure you that this is something that we are gaining a lot of successes, and the teachers that are being reposted successfully are also giving us feedbacks that they are resettling in the areas. Not only that, there are some other teachers that also have found the places that were posted to very, very good for them, and we are also going ahead to urge our principals and our head teachers to ensure that they do everything possible to get them to be resettled. That is why in the boards of Abia State Universal Education Board and the SCMB, that we are giving options. We ask them to bring 3 schools that they nominate 3 schools that they will want to serve in, and from there's no way within these 3 schools we will not find a place to place them. So we are getting feedbacks, and I believe our teachers are happy because we are responsive and we are listening, and also the governor himself is monitoring this process right away from the governor's office, and we're getting a lot of successes. Well, the secret is that we have a governor that is having his leadership based on sincerity of purpose and fulfilling his promises, both his campaign promises to Abians as well as his blueprint in education. He's making it happen, putting every action, not just saying the words, but also making it happen with action. That is why for the very first time, you are seeing young people, teachers, going to the public sector, migrating to the public sector to give in their best, and not just migrating from the public sector to the private sector. And not only that, His Excellency is very determined to ensure that as these things are going on, the transformation that is having in the area of education is going on in the public sector. He is preparing packages also for the private sector, because he believes that these private sector are also contributing their own quota towards the development of Abia State. And now, going back to what you said about the increase in population, in enrollment in our schools, a school like Nkata Primary School that had about 200, less than 200 students as at close of 2024-25 academic session, is now having over 1,000 students going into that school, simply because of the fact that His Excellency has prioritized transformation in the area of infrastructure in our schools, providing comfortable furniture in our schools. If you go to Nkata Primary School now, that as at the first week of resumption and second week of resumption, you will have only about 30 students in that school. We're having over 1,100 in the school now, and we are making efforts to even ensure that funds are allocated to that area. And we, not only that, if you go to School Road Primary School, that is urban and city put together, there were 3 schools before, there were less than 300 students, but now that we're having about 700 students, and by the time we finish the smart schools that we're doing here, heavily being supported by Blue Giraffe Company Development Limited, we're envisaging that we're going to have about 1,200 in that school. So that goes ahead to solidify the fact that His Excellency is ready, and Abia State is having the best time of his life in the area of basic and secondary education. So everybody wants quality education. Not only that, everybody is admiring the fact that His Excellency is providing free and compulsory education, things that you have in schools, like Harrow schools in the UK and all the rest of them. You are going to have them in Abia State, and it's free. You cannot beat that anywhere. So the parents want quality education, and they are also taking advantage of the fact that this education is coming free for their students. And not only that, smart learning, digital learning and all that are going to be provided in secured green environments for their children. So this has not happened in Abia State before. And I must have to say that this is the first time that the government of Abia State is taking a lead in infrastructural development, putting quite a lot of money. You know that His Excellency, immediately he commenced his duties, cleared all the balances of the UBE intervention funds, where he deployed all the counterpart funds immediately to enable the schools to witness transformation. And that is also the fact that Abians know the truth, and they are going towards the truth, and His Excellency is taking the lead.
The training is a practical demonstration of Governor Alex Otti's commitment to building a knowledge-driven education system. He explained that Governor Otti has allocated 20% of the state's annual budget to education, a clear sign of priority and a vision for the sector. According to him, the state is constructing 20 smart schools in the first phase, while simultaneously equipping teachers with the skills to operate digital tools such as smart boards, learning management systems, and online classrooms. He also confirmed that the government has addressed concerns over the posting of newly recruited teachers, with over 200 cases successfully resolved within a week, and ensuring that every teacher is comfortable and productive in their assigned locations.
Know what you want to do. Have a target, have a goal. Specific. To have a target, to have a goal. Why measurable? For M. M stands for what? Measurable. Measurable. To be able to use a time location, like you are measuring your time that, okay, by this time, I should be able to do this, I should be able to do that. That is standing for M, measurable. Then we have the A. I think I'm communicating. People at the back, can you grab what I'm saying? Now,
the reforms are already yielding results. Enrollment in public schools has surged dramatically, with schools such as Nkata Primary School and the School Road Primary School, Umahia, witnessing record numbers of new pupils, thanks to improved infrastructure and Governor Otti's free education policy. Managing Director of the Blue Giraffe Development Limited, Mrs. Orieji Okwara, MLA, whose company partners with the state on the Smart Schools project, said the journey began in Amekbo, Ohafia, where a pilot smart school was built and donated. Impressed by the innovation, Governor Otti invited the company to replicate the model across the entire state.
My name is Mrs. Oriji Okorosonga MLA, and I'm the MD CEO of Blue Giraffe Development Limited. Okay, sometime in November, we went to a place called Ofaliago in Ohafia, and that's in Amekbu. And we donated a smart school pro bono to the people of Amekbu. We had the opportunity to invite His Excellency Dr. Alex Chioma Otti, OFR, to commission the school, the smart school, the first smart school in Abia. And when he saw it, he was so delighted. In fact, he was so thrilled that he was there for some time, which his protocol members were saying, no, he has to go, but he took his time and he went through. And from then onwards, he invited us to come and replicate the same in the whole of Abia.
Please start by thanking Honorable Ibe Opara Osoma for offering himself as a guinea pig, because when he raised this, I said, okay, you can go and try, but I didn't know he was going to deliver at this kind of speed. If you follow what we are doing with education, we are not accepting half measures. It's either it is done well or it's not done at all. So our schools are going to be looking different. We started a program where we are retraining teachers who can fit into the digital world. So that announcement that I would like to make is that what has been done here will be a standard in all schools in Abia State. To declare this first in the series of smart schools we are going to open in Abia. And I so do in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
And so that's what we have come here to do. So once the smart schools are ready, we are working very hard. I must say, with all the talks that have been going on, I want to put something straight. We have been commissioned to do the schools, and we took a tour. The schools from the previous government is in a state. And so His Excellency has gracefully said that the school should be knocked down because it's not fit. It's not fit. I mean, you have your kids, and you know that a school has to be comfortable before the child will be able to learn. So His Excellency has said all those structures should come down and be retrofitted, reconstructed, and lessons will start. So that's what we're doing now. So we're not keeping quiet. His Excellency is not keeping quiet. He's doing his best to make sure that the schools are conducive for the students or the pupils.
Chairman of Blue Giraffe, Rear Admiral Harry Nganandi, described the Abia digital education drive as a revolution that other states must emulate, calling on teachers to seize the opportunity to upgrade their teaching skills.
I am Admiral Harry Nganandi, the Chairman of Blue Giraffe Development Limited. There's a revolution going on in Abia State in education by His Excellency Dr. Alex Otti. What he's doing in Abia State is phenomenal. He's setting the pace for others to follow, and that's why Blue Giraffe is here. And what he's doing in education is all encompassing, not just halfway measures. It's all encompassing, and that is what has brought us here. Today we kicked off with the 21st century pedagogy for the teachers. The training is ongoing. Of course, again, we're also looking into the smart school itself. A lot have been done. I heard you mentioning school road primary school. Yes. They said the fact speaks for itself. Perhaps it's Saluquito. So when you go there, you see what has happened already. So that is what the government is replicating across the states. Well, first phase is 20. Okay, so we'll take it off from as soon as the word soon can be spelled. The charge to them is to take the opportunity. Yes. It's a privilege. It's a privilege that the government has given to them. They should seize the opportunity and make the best of it.
Some of the participating teachers expressed excitement about the training, describing it as a transformative and empowering. While we have learned effective communication on how to use a smart board, it's a new dawn for the education in Abia State. Teachers with this training, teaching becomes easier and more interactive. We thank Governor Otti for this opportunity.
And so far we've been on this smart school training program. We started off with the communication skill, and now we are trying to actually use the smart board, and so far it's been wonderful knowing how to use the smart board to illustrate how to teach our children in classes, to make them understand vividly what we are trying to communicate, in the sense that this is no longer the era where you struggle with the chalkboard, struggle with lesson notes. Just do your e-planning, then get to your phone, get to your system, upload it, then you use your smart board to drive home what you're talking about, and it makes practical very easy, just like our facilitator was emphasizing on a physics practical, where it is hazardous to bring certain equipment into the classroom, but with the smart board you'll discover that it's quite very easy to ensure that our students learn comfortably without hazards and still get full knowledge of what is being taught. So far so good. We are enjoying the training. It's comfortable, the environment is fine, and we are being taken care of emotionally, socially, and otherwise. For so far, if I'm meant to handle a smart board with the so far training we've got, I can to an extent for now. At least I can on the smart board and I can go ahead and illustrate what I want to do. That's where I think. That was precisely July, and then we resumed September 1st of 2025. I'm posted to Simo Central School. I live in Obakala, so Obakala South, LGA. So I live in Obakala. I am. What I have to tell the governor is that he's doing well, and we are rooting for him. We are dedicating ourselves to ensure that the effort of the governor is not going to be in vain, and we are happy because this is a state where our children are being transformed. Generally, they are feeling very excited to come to school, seeing new teachers, seeing the whole teachers, giving them the new pedagogy of teaching and all that. We are grateful to the governor for what he's doing, and we are happy, and we are rooting for him, and we are praying that he will continue doing excellently well.
One of the facilitators, Mr. Paul Ukonu from Byte Conjectics, noted that participants will be satisfied only after demonstrating mastery of the tools, ensuring that every Abia teacher meets global digital teaching standards.
Yes, my name is Paul Ifendu. Okay, we're having the Abia Blended Learning Project, and of course, the governor has introduced the smart board, which is very exciting. And we need to train, the teachers to meet up with the new standards. So again, away from just the smart board, it is important to train the teachers to have effective communication, to understand how a 21st century teacher is supposed to act. Again, if you learn the smart board and you miss, the little detail about communication, then why are we here? So the idea is to train these teachers. This training is going to go on for 2-3 weeks, to ensure that we, drill these teachers in the new order by the state government, which is to make sure that every teacher is at least technologically advanced. That's what's going on. Again, when you're doing trainings like this, especially today being the first day, we would start to observe the ones who are very responsive. And then the ones who are not, we're still going to try and guide them. Of course, the hope is that 100% of them make it, but it's not possible. So we're not just going to be giving a certificate of attendance this time. Anybody can attend. It's going to be a certificate that they have passed this particular process. And if any teacher doesn't pass this process, the idea is not to tell them, oh, you have failed, go home. We're doing more trainings. So we hope that the ones that don't, get it in flying colors can come back, another time for us to drill them again. But the idea is to make sure that every teacher employed by the state government must have a standard that can meet with a global standard. And this thing doesn't happen overnight. We can only teach them for about 3 weeks, but they need to now implement, some of these things. So yeah, that's our prayer, and we hope that it will work. There are multiple teachers, and the state government will be bringing them as it goes. We're not going to say 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. It's just as we go. So we haven't been given a specific number. It's just that when we finish this one, this is 100, and we'll break them into cells at some point so that we can interact deeper with them. After this set, we'll get another set, and the state government will be giving us as we complete them. So we can't say it's a specific number for now. We're doing the very basic. So our teaching is the very basic. We're not. We have to be realistic, right? This state has been in existence for such a long time. So we can't come here and say, oh, these people, we want only IT inclined teachers, because if you do that, how many teachers are going to show up? The idea is to teach them from where they are, and that's why we're using the smart board, which is a Windows system, to tell them if you do A and B and C, it will get you here and here. Now remember, the 3 weeks training is not all. There are still resources to train them even after this training, to ensure that as they go forward, they keep learning step by step, and in no time they will catch up. That's what I think. For example, you could see the teacher who attended the last one of them that they brought out. He already knew how to use the system. That was the training that happened 2-3 months ago, because of how we were able to break down the training into small bits, for everybody to understand. We don't make it complicated. So yeah, that's the idea.
The 3-week training marks another milestone in Abia State's journey towards a fully digital, inclusive, and global competitive education system, one that prepares every child for the future. With the Governor Alex Otti Smart School initiative taking root, Abia State is clearly redefining what modern education looks like in Nigeria. From Umuahia, Chidima, ABN TV News.